Hello.
Hello. If you would, could you give us your thoughts on the win?
Yes. I would like to say I'm so happy that you guys cannot ask me about making it to the semis. That was like, oh my gosh. It wasn't even a me thing. It was just more like people asking me. So I'm really happy to be through to the semifinals. I thought I played, a really clean match, served pretty well, returned well. I feel like I didn't really do anything that bad and was able to kind of jump on her really early and I think frustrate her and was able to keep my level even when she picked it up in the second set. So I think I just played all around really good tennis today.
Thank you. One question each, please. We have a big room. David, you can start off.
Hi, Jessica. David Law from the Tennis Podcast. Given that the problem is ours and not yours, were you not nervous, really, when you were actually coming out to try to finish it? Like, more nervous than maybe you would be in other rounds?
What, you mean finishing the match? Oh no, I mean
getting to this new level in a Grand Slam, was that not an issue at the time?
I mean, it wasn't so much the round. It's just like winning a big match. I mean, there's a lot of other variables, beating her, number one player in the world, Ash, prime time, trying to make a semifinal, knowing that I'm up, knowing that I'm playing well, I'm giving myself a really good opportunity. But I mean, it's not that, I mean, I've had some really good wins, I feel like, the last couple weeks and been playing some really good tennis. So at the same time, I still was pretty relaxed and felt like I was going to be able to get the job done. But I mean, there's always going to be nerves, I think, closing out a match for sure.
Ava.
Congratulations, Jess. We're also happy to come up with new questions. You've played Iga 3 sets enough, and you know how kind of quickly she can close a window of opportunity when she comes out and is not serving like that and you're attacking her return. Is it something going through your head where it's not just like I have to keep my level and stay steady, but I have to take advantage, get a couple break points? Like, how are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, even in the second she started serving, I mean, she obviously didn't serve well at all the first set, and I was able to take advantage of that really quickly. And the second set, she started serving a lot better and playing better. So I knew, I mean, she's number 1 in the world. I was like, she's not just going to like go away. So even though I got broken, I knew I was like, okay, I can, still work on getting the break back and breaking her again. And I think that one game, that long game we had for 4-3, I think was, I felt like she was starting to push me around the court a little bit. And even though I was winning some points with some good defensive points, some slices and stuff like that, I still felt like, I needed to keep pressuring her and doing what I was doing in the beginning that would frustrate her and not let her get into that rhythm. Cause like you said, I mean, when she starts to zone in on that, I feel like she's probably one of the best front runners. And like you said, closing those windows of opportunity, she's probably one of the best, I think, that does that really well. So being able to stay in that game, and then also like I stepped in a couple times and started moving in the court and realized my court positioning was getting a little bit too defensive, and was able to kind of sneak out that game. And then just, again, was trying to keep that mindset going into closing out the match. And then obviously trying to get some free points on my serves and not give her a ton of second serve looks.
Matt.
Why was it so hard for you to make semifinals all those years? I'm just kidding.
I was actually going through them, and I was like, I lost to like some like half of them were at least girls that won the tournament.
You don't have to answer the question anymore. When you're playing someone like Iga, and when you go into play Mukova, how focused are you on what they're doing, what you need to do against them, versus your game and how you want to play?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think today I wanted to come out playing the way I wanted to play. I had an idea in my mind of what I learned from the last time I played her at finals and play kind of within myself and then just see like where she was at. And then I could tell right away, like she was frustrated on the serve. And then I was like, okay, I wanted to attack the serve pretty early, but it depends on how she's serving. Am I going to get a lot of second serve looks? Am I not? And so once I saw that that wasn't really working that well, I made it a point to really try and step in and try to keep doing that the entire time. And then I, think I had to make a few adjustments. Like she was kind of sitting on her forehand a lot and I had to change line a couple of times. That maybe I didn't have to at the beginning of the first set. So there's just like a couple little things, but I think I started off playing well, so I just kind of tried to stay within myself and then adjust according to kind of like how she was playing.
Howard.
Hi, Jess. Is there a common thread you would point to, to explain this great run you've been on hard courts? Is there something in particular that you feel you've been doing really well? And when was the last time you felt this good and this strong on court match after match after match?
I definitely think my movement is improved compared to like the beginning of this year. And I remember in Australia, I felt slow and like not moving well. Not that I'm going to be like a super explosive mover like an Iga or a Coco type of thing, but I just didn't feel like I was moving that well. And that's something I've been working on the last couple months with the new coaches that I've hired. One of them is really big into the movement around the court. So we kind of focused on that. And it's actually sounds weird, but it's not something I've like really focused on that much throughout my career. Just getting faster and stronger and all that stuff, but not as specific. So I think that really helped. And then the serve as well. I think I've been serving pretty good, to be honest. The last few months, really, it's starting to like teeter upwards more consistently. I feel like I'm not having as many downswings with it. And if I do, I feel like I kind of know what I need to focus on to get out of it. I don't feel like my serve, it's funny, it hasn't felt amazing this week, but I've done a good job of just kind of managing it and with how it's feeling and depending on who I'm playing, just trying to serve smart. So I think those two things for sure.
All right, Court, and then David. Oh, go ahead, Howard.
If you can remember the last time you felt as good about your game, stepping on the court each time, match after match?
I mean, I just in Australia when we won the United Cup and we went into Australia, I still feel like that's like the best I've ever played. I was just like destroying people. I was just seeing the ball like so well, but I don't know. I again lost in the quarters there, I think, to Vika that year. So I put in I think a good string of matches. I think I also beat Iga, and I think that's probably the last time. So maybe last year, Australia. I don't know.
Court and then David.
Jess, congrats. On the topic of movement, can you talk a little bit like the specifics? Because yeah, when people say movement, people think speed and court coverage. But what exactly have you guys honed in on? Whether it's specific footworks, cutting angles, like what is it that's making you comfortable?
I think it's getting in and out of the corners faster and being able to hit better shots from the corners instead of getting behind in the point if I'm stretched. I've done a better job at either neutralizing the point or being able to kind of run out to my forehand and actually get a really good hit on it and not kind of lose that positioning in the court. I think same thing on my backhand as well. Slicing a little bit better on the run and stuff like that, I think is just, I'm able to, like I said, just keep my court positioning even though I might be off the court. I mean, you see someone like a Sinner is obviously crazy level how he's doing it, but I think I've started to do that a little bit better.
David.
It's David Kane, tennis.com. You've talked about the time that you had to take off in the spring as maybe being beneficial because it maybe made you feel fresher attacking this part of the season. But when you were going through it, not being able to play after maybe not the most ideal start to the season, what were you going through mentally and how were you able to stay positive ahead of your comeback?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely after Australia, I was like not okay. I was like burnt out. I was tired. I got sick like 2 or 3 times like in that span. Like I think I was just really run down and my immune system was like kind of shot, whether it's from accumulation of stress over the last couple years and traveling and all this stuff. So I kind of just like readjusted and on it, like tried to take care of my body a little bit better and kind of get myself back to feeling good. And then it kind of transitioned into like finding a new coach, working on new things, finding that balance with them. And then obviously I did actually started, doing okay in Charleston and Miami. I had good results, but then obviously got injured. But I think by the time I got injured, I was almost like I was ready to go. So I think once I kind of reset and kind of got back to normal, getting injured then kind of just made me more hungry because I was like, okay, like this sucks. Like I want to be playing. I'm ready. And to be kind of set back like that, I think helped me come back, to Berlin super fresh and like wanting to win these matches and kind of fired up. So I think in a weird way, it worked out and it helped. But at the beginning of the year, I think I was just really run down, like physically and mentally.
I only have time for 2 more. Willie, and then in the back. Willie.
Jess Mukhova, when asked about you, said, "You're on fire." How does it feel to be on fire, and what are your thoughts about facing her?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's so good, so talented, so skilled as a tennis player, like so complete. Doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, and we played each other for the first time in Cincy, and I always laugh because like she should be seeded, but she never is. So like finally, I always see in the draw when she draws somebody good first round, I'm like, oh, like she's back, like floating around in these draws, and like I don't want a part of that. So in Cincy, I finally, had to play her first round. I was like, damn it. But maybe it was a good thing in the end because now we get to play each other tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a good match. But yeah, she can play really well, and obviously it doesn't seem to matter how many matches she's really gotten in. She seems to have good results no matter what, and it's cool to kind of see her back because I think she's really great for the game, and the way she plays is really fun. So she's tough, great athlete. Like I said, doesn't have a lot of weaknesses and has been deep in these slams before. So I'm sure, I feel like too, she's kind of just happy to be back playing. And I think when you play players like that, they can be really dangerous. So we had a tough match in Cincy, and I'll try to look, back at that match at what I did well and what I need to do tomorrow night. I'm sure, I think both of our levels will probably be a little bit higher than that match. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, last question in the back.
Tomek Moczerniuk. I'm from Poland. Hi, Jessica. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But I'm not too upset because I live in the United States, so I rooted for you as well. Question for you. You played her 10 times. First time in 2019, 4 times in 2022, 4 times last year.
Wow.
How do you like, would you rather play her more times a year or just once? Because you haven't seen her since Cancun.
Yeah.
And so I was just wondering if that had anything to do with your dominant performance today.
I mean, I think if I'm playing her a lot, it's probably good because we're probably going deeper in events, I would say, just because we're both seeded and stuff. Obviously, she's been number one, so usually I'm probably having a good week. So I guess in that way, it is nice to play her a lot. I mean, I feel like 10 times is a lot, though. So, yeah, I don't know. At the same time, though, she's number one player in the world. I don't know if I want to play her that much. But I think deeper in the tournaments, you're going to have to play somebody good. So obviously, I don't mind having to play her. Obviously, I would prefer to play her on a hard court and not clay. Definitely don't think I'd want to see her at the French Open very early. But yeah, it's weird. I feel like we've played quite a bit. And I remember when we played in DC in 2019 when I won the tournament. I played her and I thought she was going to be like really good. When I played her then, I was like, wow, this girl's going to be good like really fast. And next thing you know, she's, done all the stuff that she's done. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how to answer that question. I guess I would like to play her if it means I'm having to play her in late round tournaments. Having the challenge of having to play the best player in the world is always an honor, and I think something that you're going to have to do eventually. So why not do it more often, I guess.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
Iga will be coming right in.